Welcome to Fitness with Animal. I'm Animal. All right, this whole video is dedicated to anybody who has any shoulder problems. I am not a doctor or medical professional. I'm just a trainer with 25 years of experience doing this. I also personally have no labrum on my left shoulder. That's right, it's completely disconnected. It blew out when I was 19 years old. Had surgery when I was 25, blew it out again later, and the doctor was gonna reattach it, and he said, yeah, you'll never be able to bench or whatever. I was like, nah, forget that, that's dumb. So basically what I've done is I've strengthened all of the muscles around my shoulder, and my shoulder never pops out. Before it popped out, like literally this labrum is connected, so it'll pop out this way. So if you have any shoulder problems or shoulder issues, these exercises, there's just 4 of them here, but I do these probably 2 or 3 times a week, this entire like little mini workout. You don't have to do a full set of all these exercises. The very first exercise I'm gonna show you is gonna be the most important. I literally do that exercise 4 to 6 times a week. And the other ones I do at least 2 times a week. So I'm here to help you guys with your shoulder issues. Again, I'm not a doctor, but if you strengthen the muscles around them, and if you watch all my other videos and you see form how my body does not let it bounce and like, right? You want to control the weight, you don't want to let the weight control you. And when you do that, when you control the weight, you don't let the connective tissue pull and do all sorts of weird stuff. Like one of my last videos I did, tricep press downs, most people do this kind of stuff and they'll bounce and they'll do this. Well, then you're literally tearing on muscles. So here's the big key with any exercise you do, just think of your muscles here as a rubber band, right? The insertion point on a muscle. Say here, insertion point here, right on your bicep. So every time you bounce that muscle or that movement, and that muscle's getting pop, pop, back and forth, like back and forth. It's a rudimentary example or analogy, but it works, meaning that in your mind's eye, think of your muscles like that. When you start bouncing stuff, or when you start letting momentum move you, what happens is those tendons obviously are gonna fray. Obviously, right? They just can't take that much stress, especially as you get older. Now I'm 45 years old. Again, I'm 45 years old. I'm 220 pounds. I'm about 10, 12% body fat, a little much for me. But my point is, I'm enjoying food and beer. Don't hate on me. But my joints are fine. I'm totally joint pain-free. When I was younger, this reason all my whole system is built the way that it is because I want to help people experience what I've experienced. Strong, stable body. So I hope this video really helps you. If you watch it in its entirety, I promise you'll get something out of it. These are not brand new things. There's really honestly nothing brand new in the fitness industry. But the way that I apply it is very unique, and the way I describe it will help you. So thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy shoulder rehabilitation stuff. And yeah, peace. All right, this is perhaps the most important. It is, I'd say, for me, but I don't know for everybody else. I'm not gonna say it's the most important exercise to do for shoulder rehabilitation, but for me, it absolutely is. I do this exercise 4, 6 times a week. I pretty much do it every time I work out. Again, it's because I don't have a labrum. It's just completely disconnected. So what I have to do is I have to make sure my posterior chain is warm, number 1, so it's ready for action to lift, even a military press or just flat bench press or whatever. I need to make sure this area is warm, specifically on my left side. And then I also need to make sure that it's warm and it's active and it's able to take on pressure and weight. That's the biggest problem is if you've got any sort of shoulder injury, the number one thing that people don't, in my experience of 20 plus years of training people, is they don't understand is that posterior chain needs to be actualized. So they need to strengthen this up a bunch. What they'll do is they'll do a bunch. I'm gonna show you lateral delt raise. It's really good, but I'm gonna show you a different one. I will keep watching the video, but I'm gonna show you a lateral delt raise done a little bit differently. That will help the shoulder stabilize. But it's really that posterior chain. That's the most important part. And again, if you have any shoulder issues, if you have rotator cuff or labrum issues, doing the front delt, the raises is just bad. It's just stupid, stupid, stupid.
You're so stupid.
Don't do it. It's not a great exercise anyway. Like grabbing the plates or grabbing the dumbbells or grabbing a barbell, there's no real reason to do any of this stuff. It just puts so much pressure on that rotator cuff and everything else back there. So if you have any problems in that area, in your shoulders, don't do that exercise. But do this exercise. Okay, here we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the, now again, with everything, I wanna make sure I'm stabilized, right? If you haven't seen what I'm talking about here, watch all my other videos because you've gotta get those hips active in your base, right? Your glutes have to stabilize your low spine, and that's gonna keep you from bouncing and going back and forth, right? I made a tricep video. If you wanna learn more about that, watch my tricep video, it's really good. All right, so chest up, shoulders back. Here, shoulder blades retracting press. My natural horizon, about 10 to 15 degrees above up. Always keep that chest plate up. On this exercise here, if your chest plate comes down, you'll end up working your triceps. Now it looks like a tricep press down. It is not a tricep press down, not a tricep press down. It's gonna work as stabilizers. They're gonna work a little bit, like 20% maybe, but you wanna work your lats and your posterior delts here. So it's a lat press down, but I use it for a rehab. Chest and shoulders back and here. Keep those arms straight as possible, not locked. Again, we never wanna lock a joint. Chest up, shoulders back, here. And then there. Now notice my body is not here. It doesn't matter how heavy I get. The weight, this is not for strength. This is not like a power move at all, or a strength workout. This is rehabilitation. This is exactly what I use it for. I do this between a lot of my sets. Like I said, I do this pretty much every day. I'm in the gym. I'll do 1 to 4 sets of this, just like this. Now when you come up, you don't want to come up above, you don't even want to go to horizon. You want your arms to be a little bit below, and you go down and back. And as you come back, you want to squeeze your lats. And as you squeeze your lats, all that posterior delt and those rhomboids are going to work as well. So you're here, pop, pop, like that. So I'm squeezing there. Now see how fluid it is? We got to make sure the fluid is there. It's not this. This doesn't do it. And you just end up throwing the weight. That's not good. So, oh, correctly done here. I can feel my lats squeezing. Now I spent a lot of time explaining this exercise because it is literally, for me, this is for me, and it works for every one of my clients too. So I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you, this stuff works. This exercise specifically is the number one shoulder rehab exercise I do. And I pretty much do it every day I lift. Again, because I don't have a labrum, and I have no pain in my labrum, and I can overhead press 280 pounds, easy. I'm not at 300 yet, but I will be soon. So my point is that this works. So anyway, I hope this helps. If you have any shoulder issues, man, this is what I just talked about now is awesome. Exercise number 2 in the shoulder rehab sequence, lateral delt raise. Now, I did this on another video before, so you can find it in some of my other videos. I've done it several times actually, but the key is to make sure that you don't bounce with the weight. We want to use the muscle, not the connective tissue. And then also, this is a little bit different because everybody does raises, lateral delt raise like this. They do it flat out, meaning they have the weights like this, right? We don't want to do that, no good. If you have shoulder problems, again, this is for people who have shoulder problems or shoulder issues. You want to have that weight slightly angled up here. Not all the way up, not to a total neutral grip here, but you want to be here. Not here, you want to be right about here. So remember, supinated, you guys remember, right? Pronated, neutral, supination, neutral, pronated, supination. You want to go slightly between supination and pronation, so right about here. So it looks like this, chest up, shoulders back. The key that you want to, that's the number 1 key, is to make sure the weight angle is to make sure your shoulders don't raise. None of this, none of this. That's why every time I see people in the gym and they throw the weights like this, it's just stupid, man. It's just dumb, you're wasting your time. Put the weights down. All right, whoever's doing that. Anyway, so chest up, shoulders back, stand those heels, and then pull here. Wow. And there it is. Now another thing too that you want to focus on is you want to not rest the weight. I say this all the time, constant continuous tension on the muscle, the infinity symbol, right? That little infinity symbol, you want constant continuous tension on that muscle, meaning once you rest the muscle and you touch when you do this exercise, once you touch the side of your legs, you're resting your deltoids. Prime movers can be your deltoids, traps as well, triceps a little bit as well, but don't rest the weight. So you want about that far off. Everybody's a little bit different, their angles, range of motion, so I'd say right about here, or give or take a little bit more on the side of your body here. So watch how I do it. So here we go. Yeah, I've got about 3 inches. Now you notice my arms aren't locked. If I lock my arms, I'm gonna internally rotate. Slight bend, not totally bent, slight bend. Here we go. This is lat delt raise. Eyes up, I'm just looking down to make sure my form of it. Chin up, chest up, shoulders back. There we go. And that is dumbbell lat raise for shoulder rehab. Boom. Exercise number 3, it's a single arm dumbbell press. Again, this is for shoulder rehab. If you have shoulder issues whatsoever, anything. The reason I pick single arm instead of both arms is because you want to isolate, right? I use these, I do this exercise at least once a week. Again, I have no labrum, so I do all sorts of shoulder rehab stuff all the time. So the key is to make sure, as usual, we don't let, on any press, the shoulder press, military press, we don't want to let our, right? We don't want to let our shoulders raise. I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, this is bad times.
Em đàn ông phải làm sao?
You're not working the shoulder complex. Usually you're bouncing weight, stuff like that. That's not good times. So what I want to do is I want to sit here. I'm going to show you from the left side here, but I'm going to show you my arms. So this is the dumbbell here, chest up, shoulders back. I'm on my natural horizon when I do the exercises, about 10, 15 degrees up. Chest plate up, stay on the heels. We don't want to be lean forward or internally rotate, right? We don't want to internally rotate or become kyphotic. Kyphosis is when the back does this. That's horrible. That happens a lot when people do military press. I don't know why, but they just don't know what they're doing. All right, so chest up, shoulders back, here. Boom. Now I'm using a lighter weight because it's for rehab stuff. And I'm coming down, slowing the way down, chest up, shoulders back. Now notice how my shoulder stays down. I should be able to, what I do is, because I like beer, I'm with my clients, I pretend I have a glass of beer here. And then I put the glass right here. Ouch. So literally when they're doing this exercise, I'll put my hand as if it's a glass of beer on their shoulder. And if they come up too high, it knocks the beer glass off, and that's bad times, right? So we want to make sure our shoulders stay down. There we go. See, that's what I was doing here is wrong. Correct. I'll show you on this side. Shoulders down. Oh. Now my left side, again, is disconnected on the labrum, so it's going to come up a little bit more, but still shouldn't come up a lot. So it looks like this. Slowing the way down, boom. Stay on the heels, and here. Now notice the angle, right? Angle's here, it's not flat. Do not put the weights here. This is horrible for the shoulder. This, see, when I put that weight where it's flat, I call it flatlining, like this, it's gonna tweak my shoulder. I can already feel that. Pressing here, never press with dumbbells like this. Never press like this. I can feel my shoulders internally rotating as I do this. Always come here to about a 45-degree angle when you're doing double. Same with this one. So here. And this is single arm shoulder rehab dumbbell press. Hope that helps. Awesome. All right, this is the last exercise for shoulder rehab, shoulder work. I use this one. Again, all the stuff I'm showing you, I do myself and I have my clients do all the time. If you follow all of these exercises here and you do them every week, again, I'm not a doctor or medical professional, so I'm not giving medical advice. What I am saying is it works for me and it works for my clients. So even if you have a regular program already now and you're having shoulder issues or pain, put this exercise, all these exercises into your program somewhere, somehow. The first one is the most important. I use that one pretty much every day. The dumbbell shrug is the number 4 one that I'm gonna show you today here. And now I'm gonna use this heavy. There's really no sense, you can go light on this. I mean, it's not really heavy. I'm on kilos. It's the heaviest we have here, 35 kilos at this gym. So it's like 75 pounds or something like that. That's not really heavy in terms of dumbbell shrugs. But my point is, if you do really light dumbbell shrugs, you can do it, but it's not gonna force you into a structural position that you need to be in to stabilize as much because the weight's so light, and you'll start doing this. Now, this is one of the worst exercises. This is basically, everybody does this wrong. I'd say 90% of people do this wrong. And I'm sorry, man, that's just the facts. It's not me. Just go to a gym, watch what I'm doing here, and I promise you, you'll be like, okay, think about what I'm saying, and I promise you, it works. The muscles. What most people do is they roll. I don't know why you want to roll the shoulders. When you roll the shoulders, especially, like, you can roll your shoulders, that's fine, with no weight. But once you put weight on it, 30, 40, 50 pounds on that roll, you're literally just tearing, you're pulling on tendons, and that glenohumeral joint is just like, I mean, would you do that to your car? No, that's horrible, man. But so many people do it wrong. So many, man. I hope this video helps a lot of people because people see them in the gym doing this kind of stuff and rolling. I don't know what the point is. I'll have some more videos in the future. I want to make it specific where you can actually, pull back and isolate the traps a little bit more. There's a different exercise for the traps, upper traps specifically that I have my clients do and I do myself to isolate. But today we're gonna talk about just the whole shoulder complex. Now, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna pull up. It's really simple. Your range of motion is extremely limited, obviously, because you're, right? I can see it's about 3 to 4 inches. Maybe, if you get 5, that's awesome. I'm short and stockier, so I don't have a huge torso. So if you have a long torso, when I say huge, longer torso, then you're able to get a little more range of motion. But this is all it is. It just looks like this. Boom, you can see. Now I'm gonna grab the weights here in a second, but what I want you to pay attention to is how I'm not rolling at all. It's just straight up and down. I have to. Now right now I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pulling forward a little bit, only because my chin and chest are up. I wanna make sure that I'm always in neutral spinal position and structure. Watch my videos, I'll tell you about that. Stay on the heels, anterior pelvic tilt, and here, boom. Boom. Now you get more, if you do this, you get a little more range of motion, but you're gonna pull in your neck. All your cervical spine is gonna take a lot of abuse, and that is not good. Feet close together, and pull. Now I'm pulling straight up, and I pause about a second on top. Really get that burn in there. Feel that in the traps. Knuckle here. And that is a dumbbell shrug specifically for shoulder rehabilitation. All right, peace. There you have it. That is my workout, and then what I have with clients all the time too for shoulder rehab. Again, this will stabilize your shoulder joint. I have labrum issues. I've had rotator cuff. I think everybody who lifts has had some rotator cuff issues, but I haven't torn my rotator cuff, or if I did, I had a doctor tell me he thinks I tore it and a long time ago, but I don't think so. I did have an x-ray, they said a little bit of it, or they had an MRI or whatever. But I healed it or whatever, I don't know, we'll see. But the point is that I'm strong enough in that area. All my clients' shoulders get stronger and better. So if you have any questions about any of these exercises, please leave me a comment below. But if you do the first one's the most important, but if you do these exercises every week for shoulder rehab, you're going to get a stronger stabilizing force around your shoulder. If you're injured in your shoulder, you're gonna have a stronger stabilizing force. Here's an example I'll give you that really blows my mind. One of the first things, if you have any ACL issues in your knee, ACL or meniscus issues, what they want you to do, especially with meniscus, is work on your VMO. That's the front part of your knee. It's the top part of your knee on the left side of your on your right leg. It's that little bump on the left side of your knee, on your right side. It's a muscle, right? When you have surgery planned, they tell you to strengthen that. They'll send you to PT to strengthen that muscle. Shoulders are the same thing, man. I don't know what doctors say nowadays or whatever, but doing these exercises here, again, this is not medical advice, so I'm not getting sued by anybody, because you do it on your own, man, that's on you, but I do this for myself. If you strengthen, even if you have surgery coming up, if you strengthen your shoulder, all the muscles around it by doing these exercises, you're in a way better place, and you'll rehab yourself, or you'll heal a lot faster because you'll have the muscle supporting the joint itself. The biggest thing that I see all the time, and I did it in one of the exercises before, is the rotating dumbbell. Don't do this crap. It just destroys your shoulder, especially if you have weights. And if you're doing that and you're a young kid, man, please stop. I'm 45, man. I've done all that dumb stuff. It does not work. And I didn't blow my shoulder out doing that. Thankfully, I blew my shoulder out early enough in my life. I started reading about it. Anyway, so the point is that this will help, I promise. So check out my other video here. I got another awesome video for you on the right here, upper, and then hit the subscribe button. Please, love to have you on the team, man, and or woman, man, whoever. Doggy, little puppy's not here today, but also hit the notifications. When you hit the subscribe, hit the notifications, and so you get all the notifications. And click that video up on the right. This video's on the left too, but video on the right is going to be a little bit more geared towards what you're doing. There's a whole bunch of videos on the left too that are going to be really awesome for you as well. So thanks so much, I really appreciate it, and you guys rock. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it, and thanks, and see you soon, Fitness with Animal Family. Peace.